Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Kiodiekin. So as you guys know, if you've been following me on social media, earlier today, I finally received my DiskStation DS218. This is a Synology diskless NAS. I picked this up on Newegg for $250. These typically sell for about $299, but they had a great deal right now. Then, of course, over here on the left, as you guys know, Best Buy and a number of other websites, they're selling the 8 terabytes right now for $139. I want to say that it is, but really good deal. Typically, these go for about $160. But at any rate, we're going to do an unboxing today, and the reason why I decided to go ahead and get this is because I have a number of different workstations in the house. I have about 3 or 4, and it's been very time-consuming walking back and forth, making sure certain workstations that I have in my house has the multimedia that I need to edit videos, make productions, just do a number of different projects. And then, of course, too, having a number of different computers in other rooms, I want to be able to have access to all of my files, at least most of them anyway, and then also being able to stream movies. So finally decided to check out a NAS system for home network. I looked at the WD version, saw a number of good reviews, complaints that a lot of people have. I know some of the other people were saying that the new WD versions don't have all the full features as the My Home. But at any rate, as you guys know here on the channel, I do a lot of backups. I make ROM images, Raspberry Pi images, PC images, and then of course I do a lot of video editing with Adobe After Effects. Now that in itself is a whole nother beast, because the file sizes for a lot of the videos that you guys have seen is usually about maybe 2 to 15 gigabytes depending upon what video you're looking at. But at any rate, I wanted to have a system set up here in the house where I can back up everything on a couple of different drives, have access to it remotely on all of my computers here in the house. And then on top of that, I'm using a lot of disk space on my computers for backup. And so I do have like all of my personal videos, family photos, and everything backed up. But what's happening is, because I'm bouncing back and forth between multiple different workstations, I have duplicate copies of a lot of those files on multiple different computers. And so for me, it's just wasted space. So if I have a centralized location where everything is stored and I could pull from that, that's a lot easier for me to do. So for example, right now I have my computer over here to the right of me. I think I have about 8 to 12 terabytes worth of data that mirrors my other PC. That's a lot of wasted space. I have multiple copies of Venom. I have multiple copies of all the Supreme images, ROMs, just for data backup purposes. Yeah, I could put that on the cloud storage, but for the most part, I like to have it accessible. But again, wasted space because they're all duplicate files. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up today. Synology DiskStation. I looked at some other models, but this was the best bang for the buck right now. And again, typically, if you are using a disk or a hard drive, make sure you use a NAS. Those are a little bit more reliable and durable. Because this type of setup stays on 24/7, whereas a hard drive like this, which isn't made for NAS, is typically made for only PC usage. Now, you can use it with this particular DiskStation, the Synology, and you can use it for your home network setup. But drives like these are primarily made for PCs. They're not made to stay on 24/7 and that type of robust usage. But for me, it's going to be fine, because whatever is on here, just basic movies and basic ROMs, that's, I'm not going to use it that much. But again, if for the future, just to let you guys know, they are a little bit more expensive if you go with the NAS drive. Like I believe this one in a NAS format, Iron Wolf and Heavy Duty, they typically start out at about $219 right now, $200 to $230. But this was on sale for $130. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's go ahead and open this up. You guys know what time it is. Yeah, so right now Newegg had the best price on these for about $250. I think some of the other ones that were online on eBay, they range for about $240. I think $215, but I didn't want to trust those because this is my first time using one of them. And if something were to malfunction with it, a lot of those people on eBay, they don't offer some type of return policy right now. So I wanted to, have some type of guarantee where I could do a return if something were to happen to this. But this is a nice little unit. I've taken a look at a number of them that were online, and the reason why I decided to go with this is because they seemed a little bit more reliable as far as the reviews, being able to sync it on your PC and all the other little different features. Oh, one of the main features is this also comes included with a Plex media server. So if you guys have a TV or a computer system, you guys want to watch your media on other devices, has all those additional apps built in, which you can download on your phone. We'll go into that a little bit further in the video, but this thing is pretty nice. So as you guys can see, it's almost same size as the hard drive box. And this is a two disc system, and I'm going to put 2 8-terabyte drives in here. I may do 8 and maybe 4. Now in a system like this, typically you want to run it as a RAID. And if you guys aren't familiar with what a RAID is, you have 2 drives in here. So let's say you have 2 8s, and then the first drive will clone the second drive. So if the first drive fails, it will everything is backed up on the second one. Now for me, again, these are ROMs, these are movies. If I ever lost all of my movies, I know what my favorite movies are. So again, I could just re-download those. That's not a big problem. Typically, if you do want to store and back up personal videos and pictures of family memorabilia, things like that, and it's your only backup, then yeah, I would suggest running it in a RAID. But for me, again, I have everything else backed up in another form. I have it backed up on a separate external drive, and if anything ever happened to that, I just lock it away somewhere and make sure it's always safe. It won't be sustainable to any type of read or write failures. Now, again, these type of drives here are more sustainable to device failure as opposed to going with an Iron Wolf or a NAS recommended device, because they're on all the time, not like a PC. So that, again, that's the biggest use. But for me, I'll probably update in the future. I don't care. These are my movies and some other ROMs. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is the front cover. And the plastic is on tight. All right, this is the front cover. You have your status symbol. You have your LAN, disk 1 and disk 2. You have a USB port here in the front. And then, of course, you have your 2 bays where I'm going to install both of my SATA drives. And then on the back, you also have a network adapter, and you also have a 2 USB 3.0 drives as well. Now, from what my understanding is, I don't have another model, but if you want faster transfer speeds, it's better to get a unit that has 4 disk bays, because that way the bandwidth and the data transfer is a little bit faster, and it can access all those drives in a little faster speed for you. So again, here we have 2 disk drives here. I'm going to fill these up with 8 terabytes, maybe 8 and maybe 4. And again, you have your sensors here on the front. But all in all, this is a nice little cool system. We're going to go ahead and get this plugged in. And I'm going to set this up on my computer downstairs, because this is my secondary workstation here. If you guys have seen my other videos, my other computer, I have 2 65-inch TVs that I primarily work from. And this is where this is going to go. Nice little device. I like this. Not too big. Hope it runs quiet though. Let's see what we got here. All right, we just push in. We can push this other one in. And let's go ahead and pull out our disc. That way you guys can get a better look. I was talking to a few of my buddies, and they have the same model, and I almost went, there's another model called the Astor or Asator. Almost went with that one, but these things are high priced. So, and this isn't typically a type of device you could just walk into a store and buy. Most of your homework is done by, watching reviews, because typically stores like your Best Buy, your Target, and Walmart won't carry these in the store. So they'll have the basic brand model like WD, which also has the My Home feature. But with something like this, you got a special order, so you're stuck watching YouTube videos and stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and pop off the side there, slide this in. You know, the one thing that I do like is that they have been making these 8 terabyte drives a little bit smaller. I remember a few years ago, my 6 terabyte is actually bigger than this in terms of thickness. All right, so we have our drive locked in place.
Now, as far as the internal specs of this unit, it has a 4-core 1.4 gigahertz processor operating on 64 bits, and it also comes included with 2 gigabytes of DDR4 memory.
Also, too, in the box, you get a little set of set screws here. I believe these are for the hard drives. You get your power adapter as well. Just gonna go ahead and plug it in really quickly. And then it's really nice that they included an Ethernet cable too. So really great. They always have some of these. Sometimes I have.
Alright, now I have my Synology NAS server hooked up to my home network. I have it hooked up to one of the routers in the house. I'm actually going to move it a little bit later. But once you have it hooked up to your home network and your home router, you're going to go to a website called find.synology.com. This will locate the device on your home network, and you'll get a number of things here displayed. You'll have server name, IP address, MAC. I have my serial number blocked out, DSM version. I believe the current version is 6.7, I believe. We'll double check that. This program will also allow you to update, and then it has the model name and it has status not installed. So we're going to go ahead and connect and go ahead and get everything set up. You have your basic user agreement here. Got your privacy statement. And then it's going to take us to a website that allows us to install our hard disk and the web assistant as well. Alright, so once your hard drive is detected, you want to go ahead and hit setup. And then of course here we have our device info if you guys wanted to see it. Let's go ahead and hit install now. This is going to install the latest DSM features and security features that are available. Now I only have one drive in here, so I don't have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and hit OK. So with this type of setup, it also installs different device monitors to let you know if the drive is going to run bad, if it's letting you know if it's coming towards the end of life, and some other cool features on here as well. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But that's the one cool thing about having a setup like this as opposed to just having a bunch of hard drives in your computer. So once this is installed, it gives you all these additional options and apps that helps you monitor your hard drive and the life of it as well. All right, now once the unit finishes rebooting and restarting the disk, is going to take us into our DSM menu, which allows us to download all the well-needed apps we'll need to get this properly set up. And then, of course, it's going to ask us to select an update option for our disk station. We have three different options here: automatically install important DSM and package updates only, automatically install the latest DSM and package updates, and then, of course, the last one is notify me when DSM or package updates are available. We want to make sure we're going to hit the select at the top one. This NAS comes included with some very cool features, so you'll want to make sure you download everything that really applies to you. It's pretty much why you guys get one in the first place. Now, I'm very peculiar about uploading all of my stuff onto a cloud. Not in this sense, because obviously I'm just transferring ROMs and everything over, but if you do want to use a cloud feature for this, you do have an option for that as well. All right, and once you get started, you have the option to create a Synology account. We've already done that, and I'm going to go ahead and use my sign-on. Then, of course, you have all of these features here: accessing Synology services, managing purchase licenses and registered devices, and subscribing to Synology e-news. So we'll just go ahead and hit OK. And here are some other useful tools here in the menu. We have explore other useful tools. Around the clock monitoring and protection, definitely want to make sure that is selected. And then, of course, the last option is regularly backing up your system settings, allow you to quickly set up a new device or restore settings to new or existing devices. We're definitely going to make sure we select the top one. Now, the monitoring protection is pretty cool because it gives you your health readout, heat, temperature, everything you want to make sure that you have selected there to make sure your device is properly monitored. You can check up on it in case any possible failures are about to happen. It also lets you know if it didn't shut down properly as well. And we're also going to select the last option as well too. That'll come in handy for us in the future. All right, once it takes a little while for it to load, but once you're in, you get to create a storage pool in volume. So we're going to go ahead and select create now. Create a storage pool in volume to start installing packages and storing files on your disk station. Now, I can tell you from already having doing this, going ahead and installing most of these packages, one of the things I was kind of concerned about was how much disk space are some of these packages going to take up. And I can tell you that if you do install at least most of these, you are looking at about 900 megabytes. So it will eat up some disk space. I highly suggest using something a little bit more than 8 terabytes. Wouldn't suggest 4. And then, of course, now we're going to go ahead and configure our storage pool property. We have 3 additional options here. We have our RAID type of SHR. RAID is a data storage virtualization technology that aggregates multiple drives into a storage pool. As you guys know, I said here earlier in the video, I won't be using this for a RAID. Then, of course, we also have the second option, which is basic. Minimum number of drives, drive fault zero tolerance. With this type, you'll be able to install 1 or more additional new drives in the future and migrate them to a RAID if you want to do that. And then, of course, the last option we have is JBOD. JBOD, this type of drive, excuse me, this type of drive allows you to expand drive capacity and by the future combining more drives into a single storage data pool. So really love all the options here. I'm just going to keep it simple. Again, I'm not going to use RAID as of right now. I possibly will do that in the future. So we're going to go ahead and do JBOD. Reason why I want to do JBOD is I want to try to get as much storage space as possible. Possibly in the future adding on the 4th drive or for 4 terabytes, or adding on an additional drive for 16 terabytes, going with 2 8 terabyte drives will give me the most roundabout space for myself. I know that's a lot, but again, I'm for this type of storage is not my family members. I like some RAID at the moment. But if you are going to do RAID, make sure you put it in the proper format that you need. So let's go ahead and do JBOD. And then of course we are going to select the drive. Now again, I only have one drive installed. If I did have two drives, you would see both of them listed here in the storage capacity. All right, now we have a little warning here. We recommend using drives on the Synology products capability list. So let's take a quick look at this list. And let's scroll down. Now you can put any drive you want in this, but again, if you're going to call them for technical support, these are a list of drives that they offer. Again, some of these I've already mentioned as far as WD, and of course with Seagate, you have the XOS X16 drives. Those are some of the newer ones that's just come out, and then of course you also have the Iron Wolf and some of the other formats that are available. But again, those are what they recommend. You can use whatever you want. But again, these type of drives can take some really good wear and tear as far as all the transfers you'll be expecting to use, and considering the fact that these are left on 24/7. So this is just a quick short list of everything that they do offer support for in case anything goes wrong with the device. And now let's go back and head to our installation. I'm going to hit next. And if you want to perform a drive check on this before continuing, perform drive check. Drive check may take a little bit longer. I'm in a hurry, so drive back. Last option here is skip drive check. We're gonna go ahead and check it anyway, so why not? And we're going to go ahead and select modify fully allocated size. And we're going to select BTRFS. It is recommended, but of course this is the standard allocation tool that you want to make sure that your drive is on. You can use ext4. That's primarily what a lot of SD cards are using. But again, this is a storage drive with full capabilities for data backup purposes. So we want to make sure we want to use what's recommended. And then this little quick diagram gives you a better idea about what a BTRFS is. Data protection features, snapshot replication, and point-in-time recovery. All right, so let's go back and continue our installation. I'm going to click apply and then hit OK. All right, now that brings us right back to our dashboard. So now you can see everything is kind of fully set up here. All right, here we go. So we are back up. It brings up this little help menu here. We don't actually need this, so go ahead and close it out. And so once we are done, we are in our drive. We are fully configured and everything's hooked up on our home network. We have, where is our health and safety? Take a look at the settings here. So here's a diagram. I have one drive plugged into the second slot. The first drive is empty. The system is reading healthy. So this is really good to know and have here. It lets you know if your drives are facing degradation. And then of course right now we have 78.4 megabytes used out of a possible 7 terabytes, which are available. And then, of course, down here, the smart test shows that the drive is up and ready to go. And this is the website where my device is located. Healthy, your disk station is working well, has my IP address for the internal network purposes. The CPU lets me know what's being utilized right now. Obviously, it's just sitting idle. And then, of course, you have a digital readout of all the processing that the drives are doing. But again, let's go ahead and take a look at the control panel really quickly. These are some of the additional files that it has built in. You have your Synology account, info center, login portal, update and restore. Home security, shared folder. I'm going to make sure I utilize this because I have a lot of things that I need to add on here, obviously. In fact, let me just close this out. And then this is the overall menu inside the web browser here. We have control panel, file station, resource monitor. So this gives you a bigger layout of the entire network here. Nothing's transferring right now. These are all the background processors that it has built in. Go ahead and apply a usage history. I think I'll make good use out of that. Okay, I want to see all the packages that we can install on here. Alright, so we have advanced media extensions. I'll go ahead and install this. I'm going to definitely need this as far as the audio station. This allows me to play my music, my videos. Let's see what else we have on here. Note station as well. I won't need too much of that. If you do have a home security system, this will come in handy as well, using this as a surveillance station. And again, there is a mobile app you could download on your phone and access all of this remotely as well. Let's go ahead and install the video station as well. These are a lot of good apps. So now you guys can see this is why I decided to go ahead and get a unit like this, because it allows you to remotely access all this even on your phone. And I know some of you were asking me, was it possible to play RetroPie games over this or play ROM? So I'll test it out, not today, but in the future, just to see what the network quality is like. Let's see, download station as well. We have that. Then of course I'll experiment with some of these a little bit later in the upcoming video. iTunes server, so that'll be really good to have too. Let's see, has everything else been installed yet? Active Insight utilities, saying it needs to be updated. Antivirus, I won't need any of that right now, I'll save that for later. But all in all, this unit is cool. It gives you a lot of good options to maintain all your files. Let's see, what does this do? Synology Application Service. Synology Application Service provides a framework to enrich features in service of Synology packages, including push notifications and profile settings. I don't think I'll need this right now. Let's see, Synology Contacts. Again, I don't like to put all my personal business out there, so I'm going to avoid this feature. I don't need to upload any phone numbers or anything. Let's go ahead and update the USB copy. I'm sure that'll come in handy in the future. So it is taking some time to install all this over the network. As you can see, these are the ones that are currently installing when it's updating. I've actually read a number of reviews where some of these move a little bit slower online, so that's fine. I mean, it's typically only a one-time thing, so not a big hassle. Okay, so Audio Station is now installed, so we have one app installed right now. Let's see, what is Web Station? I want to see what this does. Ah, that would be pretty cool. Well, you know what? Maybe if I hosted my own web station. No, I'm not going to do that. I was thinking bad there for a second. I was thinking about hosting some stuff, but no, I'm not going to do that. Let's see here. File station, hybrid share. What does this do? Hybrid share connects on-premises Synology NAS with C2 storage, providing low latency access to the active files that are cached locally. So it's a good little feature to have, but I can hold off on it. Let's see, we also have some beta packages here. Let's see what they have here. Ah, yes, we gotta have Plex. So a lot of servers, I was even reading the WD, my home devices, from my understanding, doesn't have the Plex media server. So this is something that we definitely want to make sure that we add. Just so you guys can see it. Plex organizes all of your personal media so you can easily access and enjoy it. So we'll make sure we get all these little packages installed too. Never heard of this one before. Minim server. Now I haven't actually checked the file sizes on some of these packages, but looking at this and all the features, I would definitely try to get the biggest drives you can. Again, I haven't seen the actual file size of these, but you know, typically when I get an 8 TB drive, I have all of my stuff factored in, not all these additional apps. So when this is done, obviously I'm sure they don't take up more than 100 megabytes, but to me, every little space counts. It's just helpful to know what is the average file size of these additional applications after you get a device. See, we got Apache, that's for programming. PHP. Yeah, this is all for web scripting and coding. Let's go ahead and open this. See what happens here. So this is typically where all my movies would be stored, where I'm gonna share everything. Okay, I won't need that right now. Let's go ahead and skip. Yeah, so these were all of my movies are gonna go here. Awesome. I'm loving this. This looks really nice. USB copy. If I want to back up or copy a USB drive or something, that's what this is for here. And I forgot to mention this particular unit also has a USB drive in the front. So you have a two in the back, two USB 3.0s, and then I believe it is a USB 2.0 in the front, and the one on the back is USB 3.0. Let's see what we have there. Antivirus. Let me see what this is. You know what? Because I have a lot of ROMs, and some of them, if you guys are familiar with, you know, the Technopair stuff and some of the other ROMs, they set off antivirus warnings as far as like Windows Defender. So I'm not even gonna bother with it because I don't want any type of antivirus trying to clean any of my files. So whatever it is, I'm willing to deal with it myself. All right, we got everything here. Let's go back to beta packages. Let's see, join beta. All right, so I had to download all the files separately in order for me to download the Plex media server. It's weird how that works out. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the highly requested features for NAS unit. In fact, you'll find if you read a number of reviews, people are looking for Plex access when getting a NAS device. So you should be pleased to know that this device has it. But a lot of the lower brand ones that you may find for around 200 bucks won't have a Plex media server. All right, once we have the Plex media server installed, these are the directions here. Open control panel and select shared folder. Click permissions tab, change the drop down local users to system internal user. All right. And what is this? Universal viewer. What does this do? Universal viewer must be installed for Synology drive to function. Okay, this is for previewing JPEGs and other files. So why isn't this installed if it's required? That doesn't make any sense to me. Tells you it's required, but you got to download it, right? Alright, so this is a list of all the installed packages that we have right here. Let's go back to all packages. I want to see what else we do have, what else I need. I don't think I will use this Cloud Sync because I want to keep everything on my home network. I don't want to back up anything to Dropbox or Google Drive or sync it up that way. However, if you guys want to do it, then yeah, this is something where you could uh, transfer everything over. You can install this, and this will sync it up to your Google Drive and other type of drives that you guys may have available. So I'm not going to use it. That would defeat the purpose of what I want. Let's see, File Station. File Station is the centralized file management tool for your Synology NAS through File Station. You can manage and search files and folders. So this is the equivalent of Windows Explorer. So this is currently running. So it's already installed on here. Okay, that's already installed. I don't even know why I was reading it. Let's see, Mail Station, don't need that. iTunes Server, we have that. Let's see, Replication Service. Nah, we don't want to do that. Storage Analyzer. Yeah, let's go ahead. We need that. We gotta have that. That'll definitely come in handy. So here's a completed list of all the apps we decided to go ahead and install. I didn't want to continue the video further by downloading each one. We know they would take some time. So we have Active Insight, Audio Station, Advanced Media Extensions. File Station was already installed. The ones I would highly recommend for anybody downloading, especially for using the Synology, will be the Media Server, the Video Station, the Plex, the exFAT Access, the iTunes server, so that way you can listen to all your iTunes music and everything on the home network. And there's another one on here, the Hybrid Share. All these that I've downloaded, I would highly recommend for anybody to download these once you guys go ahead and get this set up. So let's go ahead and exit out of this. And as you can see, this is the RAM that is currently in use, 51%. The CPU is at 12%. Let's go back to the control panel. See, this is everything that we have installed here. And this is my audio station. So once I include all my music on here, everything will be synced up. And then of course this is the media server here. These are my computers located on the home network. And everyone, that about wraps it up. Again, this unit retails for anywhere between $249 to about $300. I'm going to have a really good, fun time this weekend getting everything transferred. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely excited to have this new unit here in the home, so that way I have all of my media scattered all throughout the house, and all of my devices have free access to use it. But please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I really hope you enjoyed this full tutorial and review. Besides doing the unboxing, I wanted to show everyone the control panel layout and the diagram that everything in Synology has to offer. This is my first time using the NAS in my house. I will probably get a bigger one as my channel continues to grow and as I have other hobbies that I'm interested in. But for now, that about wraps it up, and I will be adding in some more additional drives, and I will keep you guys updated. So again, this is Kiodiekin, and if you also are interested in subscribing into Fireworks, I do have another Fireworks channel called Kio Boom Daikin, and I also have a Facebook group called Kiodiekin Hobbies. Has RC cars, fireworks. I do a lot of that stuff. It takes me some time to get around to all of my favorite hobbies. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, like, subscribe, and share. And also check out my Patreon as well. Catch you guys later. You guys all have a great night. Peace. Later.